Today we're doing Surah Al number 87. Let's start with Shasib.
Okay, sir. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sabbi, Sabbi, Rabbikal Ala. Glorify the name of your Lord, the Most High. Literally, glorify the name of your Lord, the Most High. This can have several meanings, and all are implied. Allah should be remembered by the name which fit him, and so such name should be used for his exalted being, which, with regard to its meaning and sense, does not fit him, or which reflects some aspect of deficiency, lack of rever- rev- reverence, polytheism about him, or which refers to some wrong belief in respect of his being, attributes, or works. For this purpose, the safest way is that only such names be used for Allah, which He Himself has mentioned in the Quran, or which are a correct translation of these names in other languages. Allah should not be remembered by the name as are used generally for the created beings, or the created beings should not be called by names as are specifically meant for Allah. And if there are some attribute names which are not specifically meant for Allah but may also be used for the created beings, such as Rauf, kind, Rahim, compassionate, Kareem, generous, Sami, hearing, Basir, seeing, etc., etc. One should exercise due care not to use them for man as they are used for Allah.
Okay. Thank you. Just a couple words, Jessica.
Okay, the first underlined. I guess you underlined Surah Al-Allah. But I guess that's.
Oh, yeah, no. So I was just that was just to mention.
Oh, okay.
That was just to specify the lesson today. So.
Okay. So I guess the first underlined word after that is Lord. So repeat after me. Lord.
Lord.
Yeah, Lord.
So.
Yeah, Lord.
So O sometimes sound O, sometimes Aleph. When he read it, he said lard, L-A-R-D.
Ah.
So
I guess it sounds like the word gourd. I don't know how to spell that.
That's G-O-U-R-D, but that's gonna be, and I think that's gonna be another. So gourds are usually root vegetables, right?
Yeah, they're like a plant. I don't know really how to describe it except for it's a type of food. That's maybe similar to a pumpkin, but not like a pumpkin.
Okay.
Anyways,
Right. So,
that's.
Yeah, so I just wanted to differentiate between Lord versus lard. Like Lord means God.
Yeah.
And the word lard means fat.
Yeah.
Like animal fat, like charbi.
Yeah.
We use word charbi. Okay. And the next one.
Okay. And then there's names. I guess the S just got lost after that. Names. And then the next one after that is repeat after me. Lack.
Lack.
Yeah, lack. It rhymes with black.
Yeah, oh, that's a good idea. Like black. Okay. Versus, what's the alternative here?
So I guess the way he read it, it sounded like lake.
Lake. Yeah.
That's
Lake
if you
is-
make the A long.
So that's like a body of water.
Yeah.
And next, Umar.
Yes, sir. Allah should not be mentioned in a way or in a state which reflects lack of respect for Him. For example, to mention his name when engaged in mock, mockery or jest, or when in the lavatory or while committing a sinful act, or before the people who might behave insolently in response, or in assemblies where the people are engaged in absurd things and might laugh of his mention, or on an occasion when it is feared that the hearer will hear it disdainfully. About Imam Malik, it is related that when a beggar begged him for something and he did not have anything to give, he would not turn away the beggar, saying that Allah would help him, as is commonly done by the people, but he would excuse himself in some other way. When asked why he did so, he replied, when the beggar is not given anything and one made an excuse, in it inevitably displeases him. On such an occasion, I do not like to mention Allah's name, for I do not like that somebody should hear his name in a state of annoyance and displeasure. In the Hadith, it has been reported for Aqba bin bin Amir Johani that he Prophet peace be upon him had enjoined enjoined recitation of Subhana Rabbi Yal Ala in in Sajda on the basis of of this very verse, and the recitation of Subhana Rabbi Yal Adhim in Ruku on the basis of the last verse of Surah Al-Waqiah was wise for Subhan Biasmi Rabbi Rabbikal Adim. Musnad Ahmad
Okay.
Abu
Let's stop here.
Musnad
Okay, a few words for you, Jessica.
All right. So I guess we put a check next to lack, just because we mentioned it earlier.
Yep.
And then there's mockery. So repeat after me. Mockery. Oh. All right. Okay, I guess I'll just keep going then. Jest. I guess mockery and jest are kind of similar to one another. It's when you're making fun of someone, it's kind of a funny insult. Well, it's not really funny, but it's people are trying to be funny, but they're not. It's just mean. But
Yeah, and actually, this is in the beginning when we were doing the lessons, we will use the word, and we'll make the distinction. We are having fun versus we're making fun. Different things, right? So a lot of times people, like students will make mistakes that, oh, we made a lot of fun when they were having a lot of fun. So it took us some time to make that distinction that having a lot of fun and making fun are different, or having fun versus making fun are different.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true.
Okay.
All right. So after jest, there's sinful. So sinful is being it's I guess it's related to sin, and sin is a bad deed, which is a haram thing to do.
So what he read was sign, S-I-G-N.
Oh yeah, making the I long,
Mhm.
but there the I is short, sinful.
Okay.
So I guess it's another one of those memorization things, unfortunately.
Mary, can you hear us or no? They have just moved to the new center, so maybe he's having some problem. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. The next one is insolently. Insolently, which is the adverb form of insolent. Insolent is like arrogant. And the Arabic equivalent to that is nashuz. So that's insolent.
Okay.
There's assemblies. Assemblies, that's similar to crowds or gatherings.
I think in Pakistan, before the school starts, there's usually an assembly.
Oh, okay.
And that's when all the classes meet, and you will recite a surah, the anthem, the national anthem, or something else. So usually so people are familiar with the word assembly. So this is assembly. This is a plural of assembly, assemblies.
I see.
So that the confusion is valid here, because when you have the word L-I-E-S, you say lies.
Oh, right.
Here he said assemblies. Okay,
Mm.
no. So assemblies. Okay, next.
So then there's after that is absurd. So another a synonym for absurd is ridiculous. Yeah. So it's just something that's very strange. Then there's disdainfully. Disdainfully. So it's related to the word disdain. Disdain, a synonym for disdain is contempt. To have disdain or to have contempt for someone is to dislike them, to hate them. Hate. So I guess hate's probably the simplest word for that. Yeah. Maybe I should go for some words. Yes.
Can we say disrespectfully?
Disrespectfully. Yeah. I think disrespectfully can relate to that.
Yeah, but disrespectfully is not as strong.
True. It's not as
Right.
I guess like disrespect is you don't have respect for someone, whereas to have disdain, it means you have hate for someone.
Yeah, so disrespect is so this is actually a good point, Sumat, that you respect somebody. Disrespect is lack of respect. Hate is presence of something. So no, you might so respect, disrespect, hate. So disrespect is a little bit softer word
Hmm.
in this context. But hate is a very strong word.
Hmm.
So sorry, when I
Yeah.
said disrespect, I said lack of something, but I should have said something offensive. That but hate is when sometimes people will say it also dramatically.
Mm.
Okay, so
All right. So then there's makes, where I guess the S just got left off. Makes. And then I guess there's a question mark next to viz.
yeah, what does that abbreviation stand for? Do you know?
I don't see it very often, to be honest. Viz abbreviation. So I looked it up. It's short for the Latin videlicet, which means it is permitted to see, or that is to say, to wit, which is as follows. So I'll just put it in the chat because this is something I will admit that I did not know. So I guess that just shows you it doesn't really appear very often.
Wow, I think this is used so rarely. I'm gonna just let it be.
Yeah.
Okay, next, Khadija.
Yes, sir. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allazi khalaqa fasawwa, who created all things and fashioned them in good proportion. That is, he created everything from the earth to the heavens in this universe and gave whatever he created the right proportion and balance, and gave every creature the best conceivable form and shape. The same thing has been expressed in Surah As-Sajda. Thus, who gave everything, he created the best form. Verse 7. Thus, the creation of everything in the world, giving it due order and proportion, is an express is an is an express sign of the truth that some wise designer is its creator. Had the creation of the countless things in the universe been the result of a chance accident or the work of many creators, there could be no order and balance, no beauty and inner coherence among the many things existing uh, in the world. Wallazi Qadara Fahada, who determined and guided them, set our destiny, determined beforehand what would be the function of a certain thing in the world, and for that purpose, what would be its size, its form and shape, its qualities, its place of location, and what opportunities and means should be provided for its survival, existence, and functioning, when it should come into being, and when and how it should cease cease to be after completing its part of the work. Such a scheme of thing is its destiny, takdir, and this destiny Allah has set for everything in the universe and for the entire universe as a whole. This means that the creation has not come about without a preconceived plan, haphazardly but for it, the creator had a full plan before him, and everything is happening according to that plan.
Okay, very good. We'll stop here. Just a few words. Okay, the first one is squiggly.
So it's the versus this. So explaining, I guess in Urdu, do you guys have articles or things like the and
No, that's a big problem.
Oh yeah, so that I guess it's a very like confusing thing because I guess the in English is an article that refers to a specific thing, right? The universe. So it's specific. If I said the student, it would be a very specific student. If I said a universe or a student, it wouldn't be specific. It would just be any student or any universe. I guess the complicated thing here is this also refers to something specific. This universe. It's not just any universe, it's this universe or this student. So I guess the complicated thing here is the and this both refer to specific nouns. I'm trying to think about how I can differentiate the meaning.
Yeah, no, it's a tough concept, and I struggle. So I've told students that hey, when you have something single, use an article.
Mm-hmm.
And almost all the time, that is the case. So there is obviously exceptions to that as well, but
I think if you're trying to be more specific, maybe this is better, just for being specific.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So next one.
Okay. So the next one I see is determined. So repeat after me. Determined.
Determined.
Yeah. So I guess seeing that word M-I-N-E in there, I guess it looks like mine, but it doesn't sound like mine. The I is short. It's not long. I guess that's why you wrote minimum, because the determine the I in determined sounds like the I in minimum.
Yep.
Yeah.
So determined. Okay. So next one.
Okay. Then there's destiny. Repeat after me. Destiny.
Destiny.
Yeah. So it's your fate.
And I think a few words later they use the Arabic or Urdu word for that. Being takdir. So
Takdir.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Those only those two words.
Yeah, good job.
Okay. Next, Sania.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. That is, nothing was just created and left to itself. But whatever was created to perform a certain function, it was also taught the method of performing that function. In other words, he is not merely the creator but guide too. He has taken the responsibility to give guidance to whatever he has created in a particular capacity, to fit its nature and to guide in the way suitable for it. One kind of guidance is for the earth, the moon, the sun, and the stars and planets, what they are following in performing their role. Another kind of guidance is for water, air, light, and the soil and mineral elements, and they are performing the same service for which they have been created accordingly. Still another kind of guidance is for vegetables, according to which they take root and spread in the earth. Sprout sprout up from its layers, obtain food from wherever Allah has created it for them, produce stem, branches, leaves, blossom, and fruit, and fulfill the function which has been appointed for each of them. Still another kind of guidance is for the countless species of animals of the land and water, and for each member of the species, the wonderful manifestations of which are clearly visible in the life of the animals and in their works. So much so that even an atheist is compelled to concede that different kinds of animals possesses some sort of inspirational knowledge which man cannot obtain even through his instruments, not to speak of his senses. Then there are two different kinds of guidance for man, which correspond to his two different capacities. One kind of guidance is for his animal life, by which each child learns to suck milk spontaneously on birth, by which the eyes of man, his nose, ear, hair, brain, lungs, kidney, liver, stomach, intestines, nerves, veins, and arteries all are performing their respective functions without man's being conscious of it, or his wills having anything to do with the functions of these organs. This is the guidance under which all physical and mental changes pertaining to pertaining to childhood, maturity, youth, and old age go on taking place in man, independent of his will, choice, even his consciousness. The second kind of guidance is for his intellectual and conscious life, the nature of which is absolutely different from the guidance of unconscious life. For in this sphere of life, a kind of freedom has been transferred to man, for which the mode of guidance meant for voluntary life is not suitable. For turning away transfer for turning away from his last kind of guidance, man may offer whatever arguments and excuses he may like. It is not credible that the Creator, who has arranged guidance for everything in this universe according to its capacity, might have set for man the destiny that he may appropriate numerous things in his world freely, but might not have made any arrangement to show what is the right way of using his choice and what is the wrong way.
Okay, thank you. I made you read a very long passage, so so you get more comfortable. I think a few of your mistakes were just missing a few things. So let's go with the first one.
Okay. So the first squiggly is which instead of what. So which.
Tony, you want to repeat that?
Yes, sir. Which?
Which, yeah, good. And then the next one is solid.
Solid.
Yeah, good.
It's not
so
solid. Okay.
Solid.
Solid.
Yeah.
The O here sounds more like alif and not vav.
Yeah, good way to put that. And then the next word is atheist. Can you repeat?
Okay. Atheist.
Oh, let's try again. I think as I was hearing you, and I don't know if the audio is so good, but I guess I heard you say atheist, but I guess try to say that the, as if you're saying the word the, atheist.
Okay. Atheist.
Yeah, that was better. I heard the more that time. Yeah, so an atheist is, I think we went over this word before, but it's a person who does not believe in God, or they don't have a religion. In English, the word theist refers to belief or religion, and then sometimes when you put a in front of something, it means like the opposite of that. Yeah. So it kind of means not sometimes. So not religious. All right. The next word is possess. Actually, I guess I should possess. Possess. That's how people usually say it. Possess.
Okay. Possess.
Yeah, that's good. Possess.
Possess.
And then the next word is correspond.
Correspond.
One more time. Correspond.
Correspond.
Okay, that's better.
Correspond.
Yeah. Yeah, so to correspond.
Bond or bond, like alif, right?
Yeah, I guess it sounds like a short A, or it's a short O, like Aleph.
Yeah.
Correspond.
The first, the first O sounds like wow, and the second O sounds like alif.
Yeah, and to correspond means to communicate.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you. And let's see, Umar.
Yes. والذي أخرج المرأة, who brought forth the pasture. The word Mara
Sorry.
used in the text means pasture. The text means the fodder for animals, but the context shows that here it does not imply more fodder, but every kind of vegetation that grows out of the soil. Uh, grows out of the soils. فَجَعَلْهُ غُثَاءً أَحْوَىٰ, and then made it into a blackish straw. That is, he does not only bring about spring, but Atman as well. You witness both the manifestations of this power. On the one side, he causes lush green vegetation to grow. The freshness of which pleases the herds, and on the other, he renders the same vegetation pale, dry, and black, rubbish, which is blown about by winds and swept away by floods. Therefore, no one here should be involved involved in the misunderstanding that he will only experience spring and will never see autumn. The same theme has been expressed at several other places, places in the Quran in other ways. For example, see.
Stop here. Stop here. Okay. A few words. Jessica.
Okay. Pasture.
One before that too.
Oh wait,
Pasture,
yeah,
Oh,
pasture.
sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. So a pasture can mean like a plot of land, a land plot.
Is it usually with green on it?
Hmm?
Is it usually green land? Like land with green?
Yeah, I just looked it up just to be sure, but yeah, it's like land covered with grass and plants.
Okay, so land with grass.
Yeah, it's a place where animals can graze, can eat their food. Okay. The next word is fodder. Repeat after me. Fodder.
fodder,
Yeah, one more time. Fodder.
fodder.
Yeah.
I think it's like the closest word I can think of is father. No, we say father, but here it's DD, so father.
Yeah, exactly. And fodder is like the food you give to animals, so it's like animal feed. And then the next word is mirror. So repeat after me. Mirror. Oh,
Can you hear
okay.
us, Mar? Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Mere,
Oh, good. Yeah, mirror. So, so how do I describe this word? Like mirror fodder is more
Only.
like simply, kind of just simply. It's it's. I guess I looked up the definition so it could explain it better. So it is no more or better than what is specified. It's just kind of a simple thing, I guess. So the next word, repeat after me, is manifestations.
manifestations,
Yeah, one more time. Manifestations.
manifestations,
Yeah, that's a hard one. So to manifest something is to create it, or something is manifested. Something is created.
Create something to make something happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
You manifest a plan. You're creating the plan. The next one is
sorry.
oh, the screen got blurry.
Sorry.
Okay. It's all good. The screen is fine now. Okay, so the next one is hearts.
hurts,
Yeah. Oh, well, one more time. Hearts.
hurts,
Let's see. I guess the way you're saying it, I mean, you're almost there. You're close. The way you're saying it sounds like hurts. But instead of the vowels being like you want it to be like r, like a pirate.
So hold on. Let me write down in Urdu.
Yeah, that would explain it better.
Okay, say these two words, Umar.
hurt,
Okay, and I'll say the other word.
Heart.
Yeah. Heart. H.
Heart.
Okay.
Yes.
It's also like, oh, I thought of another way to think about it. Like the word art, it's basically just like you're putting an H in front of the word art.
Art.
Yeah. So it sounds more like art, like pictures and stuff.
So say this word with the arrow that I wrote in Urdu.
Heart.
Heart. So that's what you're trying to say. Heart.
Heart.
Okay. Hearts. Okay.
Okay. And then the next one is pale. Repeat after me. Pale. One more time. Pale.
Pale.
Yeah, I think he got it. I couldn't hear 100%, but I think he got it. Yep. So pale is something that's like white or very like light or fair in its coloring. Someone with pale skin has very white or light colored skin.
Yeah, but when people die, for example, they have a very pale face. They have a lot of redness in their face.
Yeah.
Okay. Next. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. So I guess that's everything. Okay.
Next, Musamma.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sanuqri'uka fala tansa. We shall make you recite, and then you will not forget. Hakim has related from Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas and Ibn Madwa from Abdullah bin Abbas that the Prophet, peace be upon him, repeated the words of the Quran for fear lest he should forget them. Mujahid and Kalbi say that even before Jibril finished recitation of the revelation, the Prophet, peace be upon him, would start repeating the initial verses lest he should forget them. On this very basis, Allah assured him that he should listen quietly when the revelation was coming down. For we shall enable you to recite it, then you will remember it forever. You should have no fear that you will forget any word of it. This is the third occasion where the Prophet, peace be upon him, has been taught the method of receiving the revelation. The first two occasions have been referred to in Surah Taha ayat 140 14 and Surah Al-Qiyamah ayat 16-19. This verse proves that just as the Quran was sent down to the Prophet, peace be upon him, as a miracle, so also its each word was preserved in his memory as a miracle, and no possibility was allowed to remain that he should forget anything of it, or that he should utter another synonymous word for any word of it.
Okay. Jessica, you want to make these corrections before you leave?
Sure. Okay, so I'll just go quickly because I gotta leave soon. But so the first one is Gabriel. In Arabic, they call him Jabril, but he's the angel who revealed the message to Muhammad. So just repeat after me, Gabriel. Oh, can you hear me? Gabriel? Oh, maybe we lost him.
Let's go through the words.
So I'll just keep going. Okay, so the next one is quietly. So that's the adverb form of quiet. Quiet is another word for silent. And then there's forever. Forever. I think the halad. I think the Arabic word for that is halada, but yeah, forever. So it's eternal. Eternal is an English synonym for that. And then speaking of synonyms, synonymous. Synonymous. The meaning of that is same meaning. It means the same thing. Forever and eternal mean the same thing. Quiet and silent mean the same thing. So it's the same. All right. Well, it was good seeing you all today. And I hope you guys have a good Juma Mubarak.
Juma Mubarak,
Yeah,
ma'am.
Mubarak, and I'll talk to you all next week. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Take
Alright.
care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jessica. Okay. Next, Sumer.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Illa ma sha Allahu innahu ya'lamul jahra wa ma yakfa. Except what Allah should wish. He knows all that is manifest and all that is hidden. This sentence can have two meanings. First, that the preservation of the entire Quran word forward in your memory is not a manifestation of your own power, but the result of Allah Almighty's bounty and grace. Otherwise, if Allah so willed, He could cause it to be forgotten. This same theme has been expressed at another place in the Quran. Thus, O Muhammad, we may, if we so will, take back from you all of what we have revealed to you. Another meaning can also be you are forgetting something temporarily, or you are forgetting a verse or a word occasionally is an exception from this promise. What has been promised is you will not for you will not forget any word of the Quran permanently. This meaning is confirmed by the following tradition of Bukhari. Once, while leading the Fajr prayer, the Prophet, peace be upon him, happened to omit a verse during the recitation. After the prayer, Ubay bin Ka'b asked if the verse had been abrogated. The Prophet, peace be upon him, replied that he had forgotten to recite it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good, very good. So no changes. So next, let's go with Khadija.
Yes, sir. Although the words are
We're gonna go to the next verse.
okay, sir. وَنُيَسِّرُكَ لِلْيُسْرَى. We shall ease you to follow the way of ease. فَذَكِّرْ إِن نَفَعَتِ الذِّكْرَى. Uh, So render good counsel if good counsel will avail. Generally, the commentators take these as two separate sentences. They interpret the first sentence to mean we are giving you a simple code of law, which is easy to practice and act upon, and the second sentence to mean admonish the people if admonishing be useful. But in our opinion, the word fadakir connects the two sentences in meaning, and the theme of the second sentence bears upon the theme of the first sentence. Therefore, we interpret these sentences to mean, O Prophet, we don't want to put you to any hardship concerning the preaching of Islam by demanding that you should make the deaf to hear, and the blind to see the way. But we have appointed an easy way for you, which is this: give admonition when you feel that the people are inclined to benefits by it, as as to who is
Stop here.
inclined.
Stop here. Okay. First, the word counsel. Okay. Like you have a cell phone, right?
Yes, sir.
So say the same word, counsel.
Counsel.
Okay. Gown, like gown. You know, we practiced this in the past.
Yes, sir.
So
Counsel.
counsel. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then, you know, the word Pakistan में कहते हैं Zilla Council.
Yes.
Council. Okay. So council. Say the two words again.
Counsel.
Okay. And then CAL is what?
Cell.
Okay. So that's council. Okay. Council. Okay. So this is also council. Council. Okay. Next, there's a word. This is a difficult word to say. BEARS. आपने शायद सुना होगा बेरियों के ऊपर बेर होते हैं, right? So बेरी के ऊपर क्या होता है?
सर बेर होते हैं.
बेर होते हैं, right? So this word sounds like that. Bears. Okay, bears.
Bears.
Okay, you know, like if you for example, in the West, people drink beer, BEER. Well, in a lot of countries, people drink beer, not just the West, in the East too. So I misspoke. So that is BEER. That's beer. When you say BEAR, ये बड़े मुझे खुद ये लफ्ज बड़ी मुश्किल से ज़बान पे चढ़ा था. जो लफ्ज BEARS है वो है bear. Bears. Okay.
Bear. Yes, sir.
Because बेरियों के बेर होते हैं, you know, it's okay. For example, right now, can you see my elbow right now?
Yes, sir, I can see.
But can you see the skin on my elbow?
No, sir, I
Okay.
can't see this.
Okay. But can you see the skin on my hand?
Yes, sir, I can see the skin on your hand.
So okay. So right now, I have, and there are clothes on my arm. But my hand is bare. Okay, जिसके ऊपर कपड़े नहीं है. Okay, so the word for that is BARE, bare. Okay, BEARS is also spoken like bear. Okay, so bears.
Bears.
So BARE or BEAR sound about the same. So just you know, it's difficult word for your tongue to get used to. And then you missed an I think you added an S here. So say this word again.
Benefit.
Benefit. Okay, yeah. So you just added an S unnecessarily. Okay, next. Let's go to Sania.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sayazarku Mayaksha. He who fears Allah shall heed it. That is, only the one who has fear of God and evil consequences will consider whether or not he is following a wrong way, and he is only will heed the admonition of the servant of Allah, who is distinguishing guidance from misguidance for him and guiding him to true successes and piety. Why? buhal ashka, but the wretched will turn away from it. Allazi yasla nar al kubra, he will be cast into the great fire. Summa la yamutu fiha wal yahya, then he will neither die in it nor live. Wala yahya. That is, he will neither die so as to escape the punishment, nor live as only true lives so as to enjoy the players of life.
Okay, very good. So, like I was about to put a squiggly here under pleasures, but you corrected yourself. Good job. Okay, so let's see here. So I'm going to skip the rest. Shahzeb.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qad aflaha man tazakka. He who purified himself shall prosper. Who purified himself, who affirmed the faith, giving up disbelief and polytheism, adopted good morals, giving up evil morals, and performed good deeds, giving up evil deeds. Success does not imply worldly pros- prosperity, but true and real success, whether whether worldly prosperity accompanies it or not.
Okay, question for you. What does this word means? Polytheism?
Mushrik,
Okay, but what does the word poly and what does it, can you break this word? What does the word poly means?
uh, sir, I did not recall it.
So I cannot recall it. Shazia, sorry, Sania, tell us.
Yes, Pali mean many and theism mean gods.
Okay, okay, very good. Many gods. So people who believe in many gods. Okay, next, Sumer.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وَذَكَرَ اسْمَ رَبِّهِ فَصَلَّى. Remembering his Lord's name and praying. To remember Allah. Sir, can you zoom in? Can you zoom in? Thank you. To remember Allah signifies His remembrance in the heart as well as with the tongue. That is, he did not remain content only with the remembering of Allah, but proved by performing the prayer that he is also practically prepared to obey God, in whom he has affirmed the faith, and will remember his name as long as he lives. In his verse, mention has been made of two things respectively. First, to remember Allah, then to perform the prayer. Accordingly, the method enjoined is that the prayer be begun with Allahu Akbar. This is an evidence to prove that all the elements of the procedure that the Prophet, peace be upon him, has taught of performing the prayer are based on the illusion in the Quran. But no one else, apart from the Messenger, peace be upon him, of Allah, could by combining these injunctions and illusions give the prayer the form that it has.
Say these words yourself again. First, quickly, what is this word?
Sir, illusions.
Illusions. So you missed the S. Now say this word yourself. Underlined
Sir,
word.
farm.
Mm-mm.
Farm.
Form.
For.
Form. Okay.
For.
So alif, O and A, you have to be careful with the vowels. The sounds change. So here, this is form. Okay. So form versus लफ्ज होता है farm. Dry farm. Again, farm जहाँ पे जानवर वगैरह होते हैं. Okay, we got just a little bit left, so we'll go a little bit over today. Okay, Shazib,
Yes, sir.
start reading.
بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا. No, but you prefer the present life. That is, O man, all your thoughts and endeavors are only for the world, its ease and comforts, its benefits and enjoyments. You regard whatever you gain here as the real gain, and whatever you lose here as your real loss. وَالْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ وَأَبْقَى. Whereas the hereafter is better and more enduring. That is, the hereafter is preferable to the world for two reasons. First, that its comforts and pleasures are far superior to all the blessings of the world. Second, that the world is transitory and the hereafter everlasting. Inna haza lafis suhufil ula. This indeed was in the ancient scrolls. Suhufi Ibrahim wa Musa. The scrolls of Abraham and Moses. This is the second place in the Quran where reference has been made to the teachings of the books of the prophets Abraham and Moses, peace be upon them. The first reference was made in section 3 of Surah An-Najm.
Very good. No changes. Thank you. Sorry, we went a few minutes over the hour. So this was Surah 87, 1 through 19. We skipped a few small sections. Please go back, reread them on your own. Okay, so we'll stop the recording here. Jumambar, thank you.